You keep telling me to make it, yeah, to the spot where we would stay lit, and finish bottles never wasted, yeah, cause that's where I'm from.
Hello everyone and welcome to an episode of On Campus here at the Solano College TV Studio. I'm your host, Nikki Requeijo, and I'm here with an excellent friend and former president of the Associated Students of Solano College, Miss Laurel Potts. Hi Laurel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing really good, thanks. So Laurel, before we start with your life here at Solano College, I want to know about you. So tell me, how did you decide that English was going to be your major?
So I have a lot of family and friends that are teachers, and I figured that the best way for me to become a teacher is to start off as being an English major. And so I sort of followed the same route as my great aunt Karen. So.
Oh, are you close with your Aunt Karen?
Yeah, fairly close.
Okay. Well, so did she guide you towards Solano College, or how did you decide that Solano was the way to go?
Both of my parents went to Solano College, not this as of recently anyways, but I decided it was the best route for me because I saved money, and I didn't really know what I wanted at first. I didn't decide to become an English major until I was about a year and a half into Solano.
Oh, that's great. So here at Solano, you had the opportunity to try different things, go around. Did you do that?
Yes, that was like one of my favorite things because I was able to experience lots of different areas in Solano.
Oh, so by trying different areas and stuff, that's how you discovered the Associated Students of Solano College? Or tell me, how did you decide to get involved in student government? Because you're an English major.
Yeah.
And
so what happened was that a friend was like, hey, you should join. And I was like, oh, I don't really know what this is, but I'll try it out.
We'll see what it goes.
Yeah, exactly. I was in a student leadership program in high school, and then when I got to Solano, I wasn't really involved in anything, so it was sort of just a time of sort of not much activity, and I thought that would be a good way to get involved. And so I started off as an associate, and I completely skipped over the senator position and went straight to executive board and became the secretary. And after a couple of presidents leaving, I became president.
Which is great. You definitely step up. You've been doing so much. But you know, a lot of people, parents, students, even teachers don't really know what the student government is. So can you tell me a little bit of what is the student government?
So the student government manifests itself in quite a few different ways. One of them is that we're an advocate for students on campus, whether that be because they need assistance in negotiating, say if something happened with a professor and they felt that they needed an outlet to voice concerns, they can come to us. And that's a super important part of what student government is. We're almost entirely just for the students. We also offer lots of events and activities for students to participate in, and so just a really good way to get involved and just be there for the community.
So it's crazy. So basically you're saying that for any student that wants to get involved, have a voice and represent all students, they should join the student government. And just as you said, you don't have to be, president or vice president. You can be a senator and represent certain faculties, or you can be even an associate if you don't have enough time to get super involved in it, but you can still be active, right?
Yeah, of course. And so some people say if you're a political science major, you might want to look at the legislative advocate position. You focus more on what's happening on not only student government level, but state level, and anything that it focuses on law affecting education.
Oh, that's great.
And then obviously, say if you're an art student, we have positions for students that want to work right alongside the liberal arts facilities. So there's lots of different opportunities for students and for all different kinds of interests.
So that's great because you're definitely promoting, that diversity. I'm sorry about that diversity that we have here at Solano. Something that I really want to ask you, because you went from associate to president, but obviously the responsibilities of that changed. Tell me, as a student of Solano College, how did you manage, and what was your experience of being a student and, taking your classes for your major and being the president of the student government?
So what you're not supposed to do as a student government member is you're not supposed to prioritize student government. Sometimes it was right on the same level as what I put up my education onto. I figured, well, if I'm going to transfer to a university, this kind of stuff always looks really great. So that was like always a trouble, is managing time. It takes up a lot of time and dedication, and just being able to be there. For my studies, I always just set aside time. It was good to be on the main campus because that's where like all the classes I had were, and so it was easy for me to just do my studies and then also be able to do things for student government. But definitely time management was probably the biggest struggle in fitting all the different projects and events. Yeah.
It's great. So you obviously are saying that you have to give a lot, but at the same time you're receiving a lot, because it looks really good to be on student government, especially if you're transferring to a four-year university. I know that in your presidency you accomplished a lot. You and the entire Senate, you guys went from helping in the fires. You guys did the Women History Month, the Black History Month. You have a Club Promo Day, so many events. But I want to ask you, Laurel, what do you consider your greatest accomplishment as a president?
For me, I think the best thing that I did while I was a president was really get the RFP rolling. Basically, it's a sort of contract that we have between our school and the vendors that we use for the vending machines. We noticed that there's a lot of different students on campus. Some of them, since we're a community college, not enough people stay really to use the cafeteria. And for cosmetology students and other students that stay on campus all day, it's really important for them to have access to vending machines. And so this year we really focused on getting a contract down for canteen, so we could offer specific like sandwiches and yogurt and all that kind of stuff for students that can't leave the building that they're in. So I think that was probably the best thing that we could have done for this entirety of the campus.
I think that's great. That's something huge, and congratulations, Laurel.
Thank you.
I know that you're transferring to UC Davis, so I know for sure that Solano is really sad to let you go. However, what are your expectations for the upcoming president and the person that is going to take your place?
So after our elections, our winner for the president position was Stephanie Science, and her vice president, Aaron Jones. Basically, I'll be working with them over the summer to help them transition over their responsibilities, because before they were both senators, but now they'll be in control of a lot more. They'll have access and responsibility for a lot more areas than they were previous, and they were always involved in before, so it won't be too much of a difficulty. But I have a lot of hope and excitement for them. They're excellent leaders. So
yeah, but I know they're excellent leaders, and the students pick them. But what do you want to see from them?
I want to see them continue. We haven't finalized the RFP, so we were waiting for a canteen, and I really hope that one of the things that they do next year is for them to finalize the RFP, so we get all those vending machines available for all the students, and definitely to start getting more events going on. We want to really unify the college, because there's a lot of different areas, and it seems like people are definitely separated in that aspect. But to have events where all the students can really enjoy themselves and meet other people from different departments, I think that's going to be a really good thing for the student government in general to work on next year.
I'm hearing to you, and I just listen, that you have great expectations for the future of the college and the students here, but that is leading me to ask you about your future. So tell me, once you transition to UC Davis, what do you see for yourself?
Well, I hope to continue to work on getting a bachelor's in English. I'd like to be a double major in English and art, and eventually just after I've gotten my teacher's accreditation done, move on to be a secondary school teacher.
Oh, are you planning to get your degree in teaching at UC Davis too, or do you have other schools in your mind?
I think I'll get all of my sort of the English major and art major stuff done at the UC Davis, and then transfer over to Sacramento State. They have a very good teaching program, so I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to hear all about it. So Laurel, before we wrap up, what is something that Solano left you and you want to transition and tell all the students and everybody that is hearing us today about it?
For Solano, I see a lot of potential in Solano. I think one of the things that it could work on is definitely just visibility. Right. Lots of students don't know what exactly is offered, and it could be better. And I just think that as soon as all of that is visible to them and clear as day, I think we'll have a lot more activity on campus. And I know I've worked with the administration and all the teachers, and I see their involvement. But just to take it one step further, I can see it. It's a bright and beautiful future.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I like your words. Unfortunately, our time has come to an end. I'm really sad to let Laurel go, but thank you so much. This was Laurel Potts, former president of the student government. I'm your host, Nikki Requeijo. It was a pleasure having you here on another episode of On Campus here at the Solano College TV Studio. See you later.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just fulfills me as a person.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's
nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have.
On-the-job training is huge.
Get the hands-on experience.
When someone asks who can do it, you can raise your hand and say, I can do it. So
joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
I'm going to go to cut one. And cut one. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for three. And it's good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock. Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots.
the sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.